Look at this bad boy. This fine figure of Batman. It's going to be what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, look at that. Oh, brilliant. And just want to point out, we are going to be taking out the box. I know for some people it's like sacrilege. You don't take them out the box, lose their mint condition. But then you don't get to see all the details that people put in and work so hard. So, you know what? We're taking this bad boy out. Who's with me? Hi guys, thank you very much for clicking on this video. Much appreciated. Welcome aboard. Yeah, this is my first proper video and I thought it's very fitting to do it on the first ever Funko Pop that I ever bought, which is of course the Batman from the classic 1966 Batman TV series, played by the great and unfortunately late Adam West. Now, for those of you who don't know, this series ran from 1966 all the way through to 1968 and ran for 3 seasons. I think seasons is the American term. I think series is British. I am British, but I think seasons is more common, so we'll go for that one. So it ran for 3 seasons, and unfortunately it got cancelled. And then, it was a great series. It was quite campy and light for its tone, which was actually on purpose. It was envisioned to be more of a comedy than it was actually a grim adaptation of The Dark Knight. I mean, indeed, Adam West was referred to as the Bright Knight during his run as the Batman and beyond. Now, after the series finished, Adam West did actually play Batman in a few animated series, which is a completely different iteration of Batman, so we won't spend too much time on that. But he did actually portray this particular Batman again in a special called The Legends of the Superheroes, I think, which aired in 1979. I gotta be honest, I haven't seen it. It does look a bit goofy, but I might watch it someday. But yeah, and then after that then, he actually portrayed this Batman again in 2 animated films from the 2010s. So the first one was called Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, and then it was followed by Batman versus Two-Face, which incidentally was Adam West's last portrayal of Batman before his death in 2017. And like I said, such a shame. So he seems to be such a nice man, great actor, and he was just fantastic as the Batman. Now, like I said, the series itself in the 60s, it was very light-hearted. I mean, the fact that every gadget that he had started off with the word bat, so it was bat rope, and obviously Batmobile, Batcave, Batcopter, Batboat. You know, everything was bat something. It was really good, and everything seemed to be signed as well. I will leave a link to a trailer, if I can find one, for the series and for the animated film as well, because if I'm honest, they are well worth a watch. I mean, for me, the series is good for a time when, if you just want to watch something, but you're not quite sure what, you don't really want to think about something, you just want to put something on and just be entertained, it's definitely the choice. It is fantastic. Because it came out in the 60s as well, and because it was light-hearted, like I said, this Batman is different than other Batmans. So, for example, he doesn't believe in gambling. Like many of the Batman, he doesn't drink. And because back in the day, producers didn't want to do a TV show where it's promoting vigilantes and people taking the law into their own hands, they actually made Batman a duly deputized agent of the law, along with Robin, his sidekick, who was portrayed by Burt Ward. Now, like I said, Robin actually appeared alongside the Batman throughout the series and throughout the 2 films. And like I said, back then he was a teenager going at high school, the Woodrow Roosevelt High School, I believe it was called. Like, very, very funny series. I mean, when you've got villains such as the Joker, played by Cesar Romero, you had Riddler, portrayed by Frank Gorshin, and you had the Penguin as well, portrayed by Burgess Meredith. Sorry if I not pronounced those names very well. I'm not the best at pronouncing things. And as you will soon learn. But yes, like I said, very good series. And this Funko Pop that they've done of it, I think is really, really good. I love the little detail they have in it. I've got this particular one through a site called Pop in the Box, which is something I think it'd be good to check out. And yeah, it's got really good detail. It's the first one I ever bought. And yeah, unfortunately, you can see on the little bat insignia that it has faded away, and that's how it came. But if I'm honest, the box was in such a good condition, and so was the Funko Pop itself, that I just didn't mind. And I love the little quirks as well. But yeah, like I said, I only wanted to give you a brief description of the Batman. There's so many other places where you can get so much more detailed, in-depth background info if you want. I mean, I would recommend things like the DC Comics Wiki, which is produced by Fandom, I think. Really, really good site if you want to get into nitty-gritty of these things. I mean, personally, I do like comic books. I'm not completely up to date like some of the people would be. I don't collect them every week or anything like that. I do prefer graphic novels, which collect them all together in particular editions. But I do a lot of background reading into the characters and things like that. So I would recommend them. If I can find a link to these sites, I'll put it in the description as well. But yeah, I would like to finish off as well by talking about Funko Pops that I'd like to see, which they haven't done yet. Now, being a 1960 TV show, or the Batman spawned from that, the 1960s, I think it's fitting to suggest one from the 60s again. I would like to see Captain Scarlet. Now, I don't know how many people remember this. Probably it's going to be maybe something older people remember, because, you know, it did kind of go quiet after the 60s. And I personally, I'm a 90s kid, I do remember it making a little bit of a resurgence in the 90s. I remember having like these little Mr. On loop sweets, really nice. Can't seem to find them anymore. It must have been a special thing. They were nice. But like I said, I loved the Captain Scarlet series back in the day, where you're fighting the Mr. Ons. This is the voice of the Mr. Ons, as he used to go. Check it out. It was such a good series. It's done in the same style as Thunderbirds by the same people, I believe. And it followed the adventures of an organisation called Spectrum, who were fighting against an alien race called the Mysterons. It was set, at the time, it was set in the future. I can't remember when exactly. I think it was like the 2020s. I mean, at this point, they had floating air bases, which, you know, is something that Marvel fans would probably appreciate. And it did have wondrous technology as well. But like I said, it's such a good series. Very, very serious and quite dark in some of it, especially, I think, in its first ever, TV film that they produced. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for listening to this video. Like I said, I did want to give just a brief description of the actual Funko Pop and everything behind it itself. If you prefer more detailed, or, you know, keep it as it is, please let me know. You know, I'm open to any suggestions. But yeah, thanks again for your time. Hope you're all keeping well and safe. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.